Hello, everybody. You kinda welcome to my stream. Still unclear as to what I will draw today. Why wasn't this turning on? Huh? This is wild. What? This is weird. Huh? Okay. All right. How's everybody doing? How are all of you? Okay. So, uh, yeah. Last time I drew this, kind of happy with how it turned out. Can you all hear me? Just check real quick. Yeah. Uh, okay, you can hear me. Right. Cool. And I found my brush pen, which is great. It's great that I was able to find this. These ones are freaking awesome. I love these things. They're awesome. Um, I was able to finish the video I was mentioning before. Is now on my channel. I was hoping it would get more views, but yeah, they got 14 views. So I don't know, if you enjoy my stream, consider checking that video out or any of my videos out. It really helps me a lot just by you guys watching. Um, all right. I think, as usual, I didn't have a drawing planned, um, but I did had something like loosely in mind. Um, Maybe what I'm going to start thinking is maybe I could bring a dice, just throw a dice, and each one represents. That could be interesting. Each one represents an idea, and I have to mix them up. Hmm. Like throw it 3 times, and what comes out is what I do. Uh, all right, let's see. Hello. Oh, you changed names. How's it going? How are things? I'm a little bit confused, but okay. All good. All things considered. on the vertical format? Can you? That's better. I think. I was wondering if you could see. Studio mode. How about you? Why did you change names? Oh, that sucks. Well, you mentioned it before, but and how do you figure it out that is the same uh, people or person? I wonder about that one because you never know really. Hmm. Oh, I see. Well, I hope you figure that out and stay safe. Like I know that every now and then some random people join, and some I think I know, and they're trying to uh, keep a low profile so I don't kick them out. Um, but um, I don't know. Like I try not to focus on any of that much as much as I can. Easier said than done, though. Oh, freaking! Was a hair stuck the front of the? Yeah, in drawing on a schedule, but uh, like randomly. I think you saw me like when I was doing like this this stuff. Like I did this one. Like this one is a sketchbook I use on and off, and I have a bunch of random rough sketches. Um, so I started using it because I was like, I don't know. I lose myself at times with this whole um, drawing uh, four times a week. Maybe I should turn it more into like a live drawing session, which I guess it is kind of on the vein of what I've been doing, but not with that level of relaxation. That's like when people get into one of those classes, it's like their time off from the worries of the world. Usually, it depends on the person, but it usually is kind of like a chill out moment. Yeah, and that's a right frame of mind. It really is. Um, Thinking of maybe turning this background into a cityscape, but I, as usual, I don't want to mess it up, and I have to fight with that. I don't know if every artist goes through that, or if it's just me. Sometimes for me, it can be a pain to deal with because I'm like, ugh, what if I mess up? And it's like, dude, just keep going, and everything's fine. I think it has to do with, um, yeah, with drama. I don't know if I talk about this enough on this stream, but exactly, that's the weirdest, like paradoxical thing about this thing that you when you get into this frame, uh, like mind frame of I don't want to mess up. I don't want to mess up. As you said, you mess something up. So it's fairly common. Uh, I could use that one. Keep going with more. It's so annoying. I wonder if that's a bot. I really wonder. Hmm. Hard to tell. Chat. Let's play a game. Is that a bot? I would say 100%. If it was a person, it would have already said something. Yeah, absolutely a bot. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you joining. Well, I appreciate you lurking then. Um, yeah. If you haven't considered subscribing, it helps a bunch. As you can see, I don't have many people that join my random streams. Speaking to nearly part of the audience. The audience is the void, and the rest is the few that decide to join. Nonetheless, I'm here for you guys, so appreciate it. All good. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Chongi. That's a funny uh, name. Lens flare. Come on, you guys. Like I use my real name. Hey, people know who I am on the internet. Thank you. Appreciate it. I try to do the best I can. Um, I wish I had more time to work on some of the stuff I do. Actually, I recently made a video that included an illustration. It's kind of a fun video. Well, I enjoy doing it. Um, Basically, I made a video about. I don't know if you heard, but and I'm pretty sure a lot of people have gone through this. Like whenever you're trying to print something, it's like the printer knows that you like if you're in a hurry, it knows, it senses that you're in a hurry, and it does whatever it wants to do. So the video I made was around that lore, because I needed to scan a bunch of drawings that I made. And well, if you're doing traditional, at some point, if you wanna turn it into prints and so on, you need to scan. So uh, the video is about that. that that's that's a little bit more extreme than what I say on the video, but chat, there you go. Is that another one? I'm pretty sure it is. Like the funny thing is that I think Kick has a lot of bots in it. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't doubt it. Like I don't know. I literally I was making the video and I was like, I'm just gonna hope. I think this one speaks Spanish, so hopefully it didn't understand anything I said. With that said, when I was doing the thing, like the first time I tried to use it, it didn't turn on. Nice, your future self. I'm so confused. What? I'm confused. What do you mean? Has everyone here seen The Fifth Element? Like for the youngsters, probably not. Hey homie, I can share your stream in a Kick community. uh, I don't know. That is totally a freaking bot. I'm pretty sure it's a bot, but yeah, I understand what you're getting to. Citizen, stop. So I guess there's this artist that did a I never really read what he did, but I've seen a bunch of his work. He made like this story. He got really good at Photoshop, and he talks about that he worked in a, what was it? I think it was like a supermarket for a long time. Like just packaging stuff, or as a cashier or something. And yeah, eventually he was able to get out of that, and I think now he like has a concept art company or something. But he made, I cannot recall his name. I do follow him on Instagram. I haven't seen what he's up to in a while. Um, but he did like a bunch of. He would take like I don't know, Muppet characters and turn them into uh, characters in different movies. Like I don't know, Pulp Fiction, and it's a Muppet. So it was a mixture of different things. It was kind of interesting to see. C. this this is a joke that only Latin Americans can do, but sí, señor. Before anybody comes against me, um, or goes against me, Venezuelan, so chill. We do a lot of self-deprecating humor. If you don't know. Hey, I learned something that I really didn't. Well, I kind of had awareness about it, but I didn't fully know at the time. Apparently, now there's a term called the no sabo kids that are kids of South Americans in the U.S. that do not speak their mother's tongue. Oh, yeah, it's good to know. It's good to know how to communicate in different language, even if it's just the basics. I think it's something I really enjoy. Like I like going to places, doesn't matter where it is, and learn at least some of their words. It's an easy way to connect with people, and I enjoy learning languages. Like after I went through so much to learn English, so much trauma. Uh, like after that, I was like, okay, what else can I learn? And like, what else do you have for me? So whenever I can try to learn a different language, whether it be a few words or um, a bunch of them, I try to. Um, your English better from English. Uh, that's funny. It depends on the area, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Like depending, I talk about this with my wife. Depending on the time of day, like I'm I'm actually shocked that I've been able to like do the streams at this level of comprehension right now, or and like throughout my YouTube uh, and social media stay, I guess. Uh, because it usually depends on how tired you are. Like I talk about this with my wife that the more tired we get, it's like what? How do you say this? And like you start to forget the word in English and in Spanish, and it's like oh my god, this is amazing. Or sometimes, which is like mind-boggling, you forget how to say it in Spanish. That is your like in my case that's my mother's tongue. How the heck do I forget how to say something in my mother's tongue and I remember how to say it in English? Or well, I guess it happens vice versa. But how? I wonder what happens in the brain for that. to happen, and it's not uncommon. Uh, like I've seen it many times. So I don't know. Which part of England? I had someone join from England before. Assimilation? Maybe, I don't know. Let me film another shot, even if it's a really short one. Okay. Kent. I've heard of that place. My wife went to England, but I don't know if I heard about it from her. Like she was in London and visited other other places. She really likes England. I've never been. I I do enjoy a lot. To me it's really funny. I don't know how you feel, and it depends on the age. I guess. Um, I was gonna say Gran Turismo, but those three guys that do the show or used to do the show about cars. Uh, I don't remember the show. Darn it! I'm having a hard time remembering. But now one of them has a show, and I think is it Amazon Prime? I think it's Amazon Prime. Like he bought a farm. Top Gear, yeah, yeah. I enjoy that with my wife. We watched a bunch of episodes, and it was well, I guess there too. It was huge in Latin America. Like we love cars. Why did this turn off? Oh, because I was in the camera mode. Yeah, makes sense. Okay. Top Gear is cool. Speed. Maybe it's like I I learned recently something that I didn't know. Maybe it's similar to this. In Mexico, there's a really prominent show for a lot of people in Latin America. But apparently in Mexico, they had like this whole thing about that show. Um, oh, I'm talking about El Chavo del Ocho, which has transcended um, a lot of barriers and languages. But as far as I know, maybe it has only existed in Spanish. But my point is, we all thought they were like super rock stars, but for people in Mexico, it relates to something that has some political charge to it, so it has a different meaning to them. So they probably didn't watch it as much as people outside of Mexico. Like outside of Mexico, in my country, that would play like every afternoon. Um, so it was like a really important show. But yeah, I don't know if Top Gear has this similar thing that maybe it grew beyond the boundaries of England and it wasn't as huge there, or people see it with different eyes. I don't know. Just curious. Good night. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Like for example, here, I'm currently in Argentina. Here, people before they get here, they have this idea of tango being the music that is the most iconic music here, and it has a place. It has a an important place, of course. But people here predominantly listen to cumbia and rock, and so tango has kind of been left aside, as far as I understand it. I'm an outsider, uh, even though I've been here for quite some time. But that's what I've gathered so far. Well, all things considered, apparently I do know how to draw. I just have to turn my brain off enough so it doesn't get in my way. Have you ever experienced that? Your brain can get in your way. I think I mentioned it, but I didn't go into detail, and I don't know if I ever will go into detail uh, online. But yeah, I think it's related to trauma. Like uh, trauma has this. It's like looking at things through a tainted glass. You're not fully, like, you know what is going on, but you're looking at it through the glass of the trauma. What's your drawing inspired by? This is it's my own thing, but it does have, of course, because nothing exists in a vacuum. It has a bunch of different influences, I guess. I was talking about, because I was drawing this and kind of this cityscape. Um, I was talking about The Fifth Element, which is awesome. That film is incredible. Uh, well, I've been through a lot of stuff. That I can tell you that. Um, yeah, but yeah, I don't know how. I wish I knew how to always take that glass that I was mentioning off. I figured some strategies that helped me get through it, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people do the same. Uh, do you do hyper realistic drawings? I have. I don't know if I have them on my website. I'm wondering if I do. I have in the past. Probably if you look me up, you can probably find it. Like it, I have a DeviantArt, and there I have some original techniques that I did when I was studying. But hyperrealism is like professionally, it just doesn't evoke. Um, it doesn't pull me that much. Uh, oh, you do hyperrealism? Well, yeah, I guess it's for some people. For me, as I was mentioning, it hasn't like brought me in that much. Because I'm like the work that you're trying to do is replicate something that already exists, and I enjoy like creating things that might not exist. They're based on reality. They have uh, real things to them, but like also mixing like stylized ideas and like basically made up stuff and created just specifically for whatever I want to to bring. Yeah, yeah, it's different for each one. Uh, as I said, I used to do hyperrealism when I started because you have to learn. Uh, Once you're practicing illustration, you have to learn the techniques and the way that anybody or everybody can learn within the same frame of mind is by trying to replicate a reference. So the way they teach you the technique is that you have to find an image that you find appealing, and you try to replicate that with the technique that you want to learn, uh, or that they're teaching you how to do. Uh, but after that, I got. It's a long story, but I wish I had some of them. In this drawing today, well, um, like I don't know how much have you seen of my stuff, um, but I basically have in mind this idea. I've had this idea in mind from a long time ago about a kind of a dystopian cyberpunk uh, future or world, kind of on the vein of Blade Runner or Fifth Element that I was mentioning. It also, I guess, it has Star Wars. What else does it have? Ghost in the Shell, for example. Well, in this image, I guess is a character trying to escape from enforcers. They're trying to get him. So, like my idea is that, and usually it goes like this: that in those worlds, there are these corporations that control a lot of what goes on in what exists, and there are other factions that are like hidden, uh, like doing their own thing, trying to survive, like as most people do. And yeah, of course the system doesn't like that. Sorry, the building's going to be neon like the future. Eh, I don't know what I'm going to add here as neon. Um, yeah, I might add some like lights on the buildings. Hmm. For this to work, it has to be a nighttime shot. I can leave it like this. Uh, I do like to add the my friend here. I find this really annoying that this is like tainted with this. Thank you. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. I'll see what I'll add. I like to start lightly and then I add more. More. More is more. More is more. Uh, there's some stuff I'm not mentioning because they have to do with the story, and if I ever make it into a comic book or a short film, like I don't want to spoil the entire thing unless I need to mention what I'm thinking. Anyway, the like cyberpunk uh, usually has a similar plot to it. This specific genre. So I don't know. I have embedded in my brain like some teachers telling me like there's you're not going to invent anything that doesn't exist already. I was like, oh, thank you. That's inspiring, but I do get where they were coming from, you know. Hey, 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 hey. This actually reminds me of a cover from Spider-Man. I'm trying to figure out how to kind of this atmosphere fog, because these are meant to be like really high skyscrapers. That movie is really good. I really enjoyed it. I used to really like the animated show, the Spider-Man show on Fox Kids. So watching that film kind of reminded me of that. I didn't enjoy the second one as much as the first one. The first one was incredible. The second one, yeah, I don't know. I don't like it as much. The plot is, I found it contrived to my liking, but um, it was still a huge success. So. Trying to bring some of the light, like if this is a neon sign, one of those gigantic signs, it's gonna project light onto the character. I don't know if I've gone into this that much here, but whenever you're thinking about light, like lighting a scene, um, come on, you basically like I already have this. These are light sources. All of these are light sources. The other main light source that, of course, you're gonna have, depending on the time of day, is the sun or the moon. The moon reflects, the sun generates its own light. So, in this case, if the moon is like there, like in here, all this area is in shadow. If it's behind him, there should be light here too, and maybe there's some shadow here. So it depends on where where the light is coming from, if it makes any sense what I'm saying. Like, so let's say this is the horizon. Just just follow me here, okay? So this is just the head of the character. If the light source is here, like the moon, that's gonna send light to this area. Same with the freaking neon signs. Neon signs. That's a neon sign. So if you have all those lights, all that other side, is on light. The opposite side should be in shadow. And it depends on, as I said, how many light sources you have, the time of day, the bounce. So you could have maybe a bounce here, so it would help you separate the character, so it's just not like fully in in shadow. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to exaggerate this so it makes more sense. So this is the light I'm talking about. The light, light, light. This is a bounce. This is a shadow. I don't know. This is like a mini example of what I'm talking about, but hopefully, does it have out of framing? This thing has out of focus, so you can probably see what I'm talking about here. There you go. Definitely better with that camera than with the other one. I was so fed up with the other camera. Feel like I drop weight off my shoulders. Not my belly though. Still overweight. Just not risk the entire drawing. I'm just gonna use a pencil. Like I already did the entire thing with markers and ink, so I'm taking this little vacation in Easy Land for a little bit. Maybe he could have a little bit of light behind him because there's people or robots trying to get him. So I could see that happening. Good thing is I can hum and I don't get bothered by humming. I mean by the algorithms because they silence, like whenever you add music, if I start adding music to a stream, they start like, oh, you cannot play, like, dude, I'm using already like copy free copyrighted music, so get off my case. But no. Well, considering that the ones previous to this weren't of like my the quality I like to produce work. This one is step in the right direction. Funny that he's stepping. This for me is funny. I laugh at my own joke. So let me be. Okay? Let me be. I don't know what to do about that area there. I should shadow this. Shading can get a little bit tricky if you're doing backgrounds. Like if I turn this into a comic, it's way easier for me to model this in 3D and just use it and then trace the backgrounds. I mean, way easier. A character, I get it. Like you might not want to do that, but and the thing about bounce light is that it bounces. So if you have light there, it's gonna bounce over here. Actually, it should be way more visible, but it depends. I had a good time when I was studying 3D, working on the lighting projects that we had. But yeah, never got to work on that, on lighting specifically. I see the appeal, and there's not one show that doesn't need a lighter. You're always gonna need to light a scene. Always. So, I don't know. If you're into 3D, that's something to think about if you want to to pursue that. Right now, it's hard to tell where that whole industry is going. Hard to tell, really. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Cause I have it at this point. I could probably add some markers to it, but I don't know if I want to do that. Ba-da-bum, bum, bum. Da-da-dum, dum, da-da-dum, bum, bum. Alright, I wanna check this out from a different perspective. Let me turn this off. Hmm. And I need some more stuff. Maybe there's a sign here for the people that are on that highway. And some more light here. Maybe you can kind of see a moon there. It's way easier to see what I'm painting though with this light. I know if I've had some drawings they I would even consider throwing away, but yeah, this one's not too shabby, not too shabby. Um, Again, if it needs some more stuff, I can add some. Just want to be careful not to go overboard because it can mess up the composition. So you have to keep an eye on that and balance it out. And, yeah, the name of the game is balance out the composition. I need this marker right here. Got it. I got it. Got it. I have it. Let's test it out. Oh, I'm so much looking forward to watching Tron. I enjoyed those films so much. I remember watching the original years ago. I was trying to figure out what that was because I only was able to at the time that came out. I well maybe I wasn't even alive, but I only saw like a snippet of it, like a few shots. It's like this is incredible, and that got stuck in my mind until they made the new films, which are to me they're really fun and cool. I don't know if they're making another one, is because they saw the money on it. They're not gonna make something that they feel is not gonna bring them cash. They just don't do that. They just pull the plug on it and that's it. End of discussion. So if they're making one, there's money in it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that for sure. For sure. Bam. How do I add this? Is far away so that wouldn't be that saturated. Do well, I guess if I brought this one up, I can add more here, but that doesn't make sense. This would be in shadow, but how much shadow does it actually get? Nah, I don't know if I like that. I don't like that actually. I need an eraser. Anyway, I'm already past the hour mark. So, for those of you who this is the first time watching one of my streams, sorry, rather, um, I'll probably end the stream because I need to sleep. And yeah. Anyways, if you haven't, consider subscribing. It helps me a bunch. It's completely free for you. And if you wanna check it out, I have an illustrated deck of cards that you can find on my website. I also have a Redbubble shop with a bunch of merch in it. I also have other videos on my YouTube channel if you want to check those out. I made one recently, by the way. I like it. I don't know. Let me know. Like if you see it, let me know in the next stream. I don't mind the feedback. I actually embrace it. So anyway. Oh, and I also have phone backgrounds on my website if you want to check those out. Really cheap. Alright. I know it can be better, but all in all, it's better than what I've produced lately. Anyways, well, I do like what I did for the channel, the illustration I made and the video, and I like some of the stuff I've done. It just I'm picky. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope to see you next time. Let me find my music. Here we go. Until next time. Bye.